It's all on voice though. So if like at some point you don't even need to fucking see us anymore, bro. Recording. I'm gonna have you clap real quick into the mic so we can sync it up. Awesome. Okay, welcome back. This isn't really a podcast, but it kind of looks like one right now.
Yeah,
because we're holding mics. This is Liam. Liam is you're a paint print major, right?
I'm sculpture.
Oh, right. Why? I feel like I should have known that.
No, but I
Anyway.
mostly paint, so
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, wrong assumptions, but Liam has found some success recently online, sort of just taking what you already do in person and condensing it into, like, the short form content that you do, which is sort of like, you know, part street art, part, like, you know, interview, because you're capturing this, like, genuine interaction between you and the subject, and then you're spray painting on their shirt, which gives them sort of this unique, like, one of one art piece. But also feel free to, like, say anything about yourself that you think is important.
Yeah, I definitely did not think of it as like a performance piece at all at first, but I transferred into VCU fall 2023, and I had to do AFO, which is the Art Foundation program, and the only class I had to do to get out of that was Time Studio, and my professor told me that the art you're making is good, like that's cool, like what you're doing is great, but the performance might be something even greater as like an entire whole, and that's got me like thinking a lot, and it's like stayed in my head. And so now, like, that's something I'm trying to, like, dive more into with this whole thing as being a performance artist and creating a performance and bringing others into that without maybe them even realizing.
Yeah. And I mean, by this point, I probably will have, like, flashed.
Hey, excuse me? Excuse me? Could I spray paint your shirt?
Sorry?
Could I spray paint your shirt for free?
You want to spray paint my shirt?
Your video
Yeah,
up on
yeah,
screen,
yeah.
but it totally is, like, also about the human interaction that you're having, and that's like what I see a lot of people saying is that you're like genuine, and there's like, you know, for those who don't know you, you're like sort of this not character, but as we know you online, it is kind of like a caricature of you, because we don't know, like, you know, if it's an Instagram follower, they don't know the real you, so they're getting like that snippet. So it's either like super nice, like chatty Liam doing the spray paint, or sometimes it's like quick, like running around like, oh, you didn't want this t-shirt, I'm gonna get out of here. Which is like, sometimes it's polarizing.
Your loss.
yeah, exactly.
That was me. That was mean.
But yeah, I mean, and people have a lot of opinions online, and they don't feel afraid to kind of just talk their shit without like considering that you're like, I know you as a real person, so it's funny to see what people say online sometimes when they don't know you and they are interpreting you through that like 3-minute thing. Which is something I wanted to like use. I'm gonna use that as a segue.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to talk about legitimacy in art, because we are both in two relatively new mediums over the like scope of art history. Photo is a very new medium. Spray paint is like a new technology within the umbrella of painting, and so sometimes I see people.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because, like, I have a professor who's like, yeah, people were cave painting, they were spray painting because they'd have a straw. So it's like, I'm like, yeah, but like, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Sorry. But I'm trying to, yeah.
Let's put graffiti and street art in
Yeah,
a box.
yeah.
And look, like, obviously there's issues with calling it street art. It's like delegitimizing it a little bit. And I think it's also probably rooted, and I'm not qualified to talk on this, but from an outsider's perspective, I see like, yeah, street art became a term when like Basquiat was painting on walls, and so it feels a little bit like the average like gallery person, like art collector, wanted to remove that from like Matisse and these fine art paintings, and like maybe shit on it a little bit while also still recognizing that you can't, like, it's not going away, but maybe it's not as like intellectual as oil painting, you know?
So
like, what do you think about
So
that.
I guess the thought that came to my mind was maybe like street art was the label that was put on graffiti to market into a gallery setting or to get it in like a wider digested audience. And I think that might be why graffiti people, the start of the like schism of what splits like street art versus graffiti, which is like I feel like a fake beef. Like they're of the same umbrella, they're of the same grain, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like if you're painting characters that are distinctly recognizable and like if you don't sign it, your name on it, but someone sees that character and they know it's you, that's still, I think that's graffiti. That's the same. Like your name is that character. So like Banksy, like people know that it's Banksy. So like I used to shit on Banksy until I realized that it's like really the same as like graffiti. I think it's people just don't like that he like got money from it because I think in graffiti there's like this don't sell out vibe. You know, this is like for the streets. And I personally, like my experience, it's like you're involved with a lot of people that like thrive off staying up super late, doing a lot of drugs, and are dickheads. And that is not a good energy to be around for me personally. And I think that also keeps people like sick and down, and it keeps people from making money off of it because it's like that's not the vibe, that's not the tradition. And so I think that is what splits the street art and what makes people hate on Banksy is because he's like gotten successful from it. And I think Banksy, like, I don't think he's the best guy ever. I don't think he's the worst, but I also don't think he cares. I think it's kind of like a joke. Like, it's kind of silly.
So you're saying like, respected graffiti artists shit on Banksy because of the stencils and
Yeah.
the fact that he's not really like he's not risking it in a way.
But he is at the same time. Like, it's the
Okay.
same shit. I mean, yeah, the stencils is different. I think also, like, people don't like maybe that it's, like, very political, but it's, like, graffiti's already political. So it's, like, I don't know. I think it's, like, fake. Because, like, the more I try and think about it and, like, justify, like, how they're different, I just find more similarities.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel like you've got kind of shit on by people, or do you think you are looked down on by people who specifically paint on
Graffiti.
on canvas?
Oh, on canvas. Oh.
Yeah, because now it's sort of sounding like, as you're explaining more, it sounds like you're maybe in this mid tier, or you're like caught in the middle between writers who are getting up every night and sort of like um, doing like throwies and stuff on the highway, and they're real gritty about it, and then like the tenured sort of gallery artist who's getting a residency but also like doing um their paintings as sort of like a reflection of pop culture, which is kind of taking from the street art style. Like, do you know Alec Monopoly?
No, no.
I have my strong feelings about this guy, but he's like one of these artists who does like pop culture like mashes on canvas. It's like the dollar sign and then the McDonald's logo and then something else, and it's all like smushed together, high contrast, high color, just a bunch of like stuff you would yeah, and it does sell for a lot, like a bunch of stuff you would recognize in the style of someone who's like wheat pasting or getting up with cans, kind of.
Yeah, so I definitely feel like shit on by writers, and rightfully so. Like I've had my fair share of like overstepping boundaries and fucking up and painting on top of shit that I shouldn't have painted. Whether it was like in a more of a street art sense or a graffiti sense, like I've fucked up, and like that's not cool, you know. But then also in terms of the like art sense, there's people that are like, you should stop painting on cardboard, like you should really paint on this. I'm like, well, it's like the same, like why would I do that? You know,
Yeah.
I can still frame it, I can still yada yada, like, oh, like you should paint on fabric instead or whatever. And so it's like there's always going to be people that want you to fit in their box because that's their experience and what they're used to. And whether someone likes your stuff or not, I think it's like more comfortable for people to relate to you in their voice, especially if they already are an artist. And then on the legitimacy point, I think, like, for example, the guy you're talking about, the pop artist, like, I'm envious of him. Like, if he can literally just scramble a couple of freaking common symbols together and like make money off it, like that's fucking dope. And like if artists say they're not, if us fucking college students like say we're not jealous of him, like we're lying, you know, because
it's a total lie.
Yeah.
Like why do we hate on Andy Warhol? Because he made more money off art than any of us will ever probably touch in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, totally.
Yeah, dude.
It's super fueled by jealousy.
I think it's really difficult because it's like navigating all this stuff. It's like you're going to upset people no matter what. And I think something that art school doesn't talk about is the comfortability within yourself and being comfortable being uncomfortable. That is not talked about. And then you're talking about earlier, like people don't know me like on social media. It's weird for the people that do know me. Like some know me as an educator. Some know me as a family member, brother, son, cousin. Some know me as a fellow student. Some know me as someone that just spray paints that eye. Some know me as spray paint guy, nothing else, you know? And so it's like people don't, or just from like 12-step recovery programs. And so it's like all these different lives I feel like that I live in that like are all mashed in together into like these mini performances that like give like a windowsill peek into like what is like my existence. And so like it'll never be like a full true complete picture, you know what I mean? So it's hard because all of this like legitimizes my life as like who I am, but to legitimize my art I feel like it has to be the part of like being confident in yourself, because like I've realized that like copying my like other people's sketches off Pinterest, like that's something I used to do a lot. I'd like spray paint these sketches. I'm like, oh, that's a cool figure, like it's a nice naked lady, that's a nice naked man, I want to paint that. Now I don't like view that as legitimate, but there's people that do that make money off that. You know, there's some tattoo artists, a lot of tattoo artists. Like, for example, if I were to paint like a bunch of naked women, like I don't think my peers at VCU, especially in VCU arts, would like be the most accepting. Like, because I've even said that like some girls have been like, you should paint some more naked women or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but then I'm that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a lot of dudes who do only like naked, like the naked female form. And you know, we've seen that like throughout from the beginning of art basically. So like, yeah, I mean, totally.
But and it's weird, tattooing, it's like that's all free. Like you can tattooing's unique that it's like maybe it's stuck in old ways, maybe in some ways not, but which is I think cool and unique. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is I'd rather paint a naked man.
There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I mean, you were hitting on like this sort of endless scope of opportunities that we have now. And you and me, well, for anyone who doesn't, who couldn't pick it up already, like we both go to school in VCU or at VCU, which is in Richmond. Yeah. Richmond's like not nothing. It's there is a good artist community here. Yeah. You know, sometimes it feels small, but there are like there's a robust alumni network. There are enough galleries here where I feel like I could go out on a weekend and see like 3 or 4 new things and get inspired. And it's exciting, and I find myself like wanting to collab with people a lot. And I'm not sure if it's like just because I think their work is cool and we would like, I'm hoping that mashing our shit together would make like a cool collaboration. I've had like I've noticed I've had like a couple failed projects recently where it's just like I would reach out to someone, they would be down, we would come together over an idea, and it would just kind of fizzle out for one reason or another, which is like I don't know if this happens to you a lot, but I feel like I get excited by the work that other people are making, and either it turns into an idea where I'm like, okay, I'm going to take that, do something with that on my own, or I'm going to want to reach out to them, see if they'd like be willing to sort of make some art shit together. And I think this is because we both like are very much on the doing side of things instead of thinking. That I get like these quick ideas that are exciting, like this kind of fire with an idea. Like, I don't know, like there is no one answer, but have you like had good collaboration with people in the past?
I guess I'm thinking recently with like Instagram little bits where
Yeah,
I'm like
for
making
sure.
a performance piece, like acting. That's some collaborations. I've done some lessons. I'm thinking of Aaron Tran, homie. We painted this.
Shout them out.
Yeah, Aaron Tran. Yeah, amazing painter and screen printer. Um, and a homie for real. Definitely has helped me with that stuff a bunch, and the business side of things as well. But we're spray painting together, and I was kind of like walking him through like lessons, and we made this because he's big fan of Manny Pacquiao, and so we made this like Manny Pacquiao painting, pretty cool on cardboard. And but I don't think collaborations have been that pivotal of a means for me. But also maybe yes at the same time, like me working at the high school teaching the kids how to spray paint, that's another art teacher that collaborated me into that program.
Yeah.
So maybe that is I I don't know. I guess what is your definition of collaboration?
So that's great because I was just thinking about it. Like collabs in the traditional sense, it's different now. Like a collaboration could be as shallow
Instagram.
as like yeah like I'm reposting or like we're tagged in the same thing. Like that's
Yeah.
a collaboration, like kind of. But did we really like both put our energy into this like thing being a post on Instagram? I don't know. Like so yeah, I mean, I guess when I think of collaboration, like it probably before social media, it probably meant like we both had a hand in the creation of this art piece, or it's a show that we're putting on that we both like curated. So I don't know. I mean, like I think it's kind of bigger for us now because we can like reach out to people across the globe without really having to have that much of a following. Like, you know, 3D artists from the Netherlands that I really mess with. Like, I reached out to someone to do the cover for my fashion magazine. Never met him a day in my life. Just said like, "Hey, what's up? I really like your work. Like, would you be interested in this project?" And it would have happened. Some other unforeseen stuff got in the way, but like it makes it easier. The internet makes it easier to connect with people and bring ideas and art together and breathe new life into things in a way that like I'm thinking about my peers in the photo department and no one's really, and this is not like a ego thing, but no one's really doing the same work that I'm doing. Or we can work together on a technical level, but I don't know if their ideas are like exactly complementary to what I'm doing from like the aspect of no one else is really doing like fashion photography. I don't know if anyone else in sculpture is really doing what you're doing. And sometimes that's like the beautiful thing about collaboration is you're taking two wildly different people and putting them together for a new kind of like interesting like amalgamation of the two ideas. But also you could find someone who's doing like I was telling you about the guy in Paris who like writes the poetry on people's shirts with the like red mini can. Like that's someone who
Are you
doesn't.
talking about sex dreams?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
like someone who does not exist in Richmond, but now because of the internet, like you could reach out to this person if they fuck with you enough. Like you could get flown out and collab that way. Like this is just like it opens up the possibilities.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess I am reaping some of the benefits of like having a growing social media presence and people wanting art. I don't think I've experienced yet like being flown out to Paris to collab on what I definitely have not experienced that. That'd be dope. Anyone wants to fly me out, that'd be really cool. But yeah, I think like the fire you're talking about, I being a doer and not a thinker, like I can definitely be a thinker too, but I think that's what I relate to most is just like wanting to do my shit, you know? And I think I bring in a lot of people into that, like whether I'm like showing them or teaching them or helping them learn what I'm doing. But I've never been with someone where it's like, oh, we both want the same thing. We're going to spend a lot of hours in this piece because time is something I feel like is very relevant in my work and the lack of it that I try to spend on things. I'd rather do more things. But also at the same time, it's like if I want something that's really naturalistic and really captures something that like it looks real, you know, like I have to spend time on it. And so for me, it's like, how can I do that as quick as possible? But anyways, I I enjoy, like, this right now is really cool. I think this is unique. I think a lot of people in art school sit in the back row and wait for graduation to find what life will bring them or whatnot. And I think, like, I kind of set this goal for myself. Like, I want to, like, be pretty established in my, like, business, whatever that's gonna look like. I don't know what that's gonna look like. A year ago, when I started saying this to myself, my dad's like telling me, like, you should, like, figure out how to market yourself and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Set some goals for yourself, whatever. And it's, like, interesting to see, like, wow, this is not how I foresaw anything happening, but this is that idea manifesting itself now. And I suspect collaborations will, like, come from it, but I don't have any idea of what that might look like.
I mean, totally. Yeah, like, monetization of an audience is a weird thing. And I was kind of thinking on the way over here, like, you've got this sort of uptick in attention recently, and that's like how do you capture that in a bottle? Like, no one's really able to get it down to an exact science. Like, how, now that you've had your, like, couple viral, like, super viral videos, how do you bottle that and retain an audience and make it so it's not this, like, fleeting, you know, wave of success that sort of, like, crashes quickly? Because, like, you know, like, not everyone can be a celebrity. We see these overnight sensations because of TikTok and because of Instagram, where I'm trying to, like, this is terrible, but, like, the Costco guys.
Costco guys?
Yeah, like the Rizzler, like the little like 5-year-old kid.
Dude, I really don't consume much media. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
this looks so bad on me.
No, I mean, I bet
who's
everyone
a fucking
knows.
okay, remember Damn Daniel?
Damn, Daniel,
Yeah,
blah blah
okay.
blah, whatever.
I had to go way back. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He had his, like, Ellen moment and then faded into existence. But, like, people from that time took that and ran with it. They're like,
everyone in every middle school, everywhere was saying that.
Yeah.
In America,
like, why did you know, I couldn't tell you why Damn Daniel isn't still around and making YouTube videos, but, like, the Paul brothers or like these sorts
but the
of
Paul brothers, I think, are still around, are they not?
No, they are.
Okay.
And, like, why are they still here, but Damn Daniel isn't still here? That's like that.
I see what you're saying.
So, like, now that you have these, you know, 3 or 4 videos that are over, like, sitting at over 1 million views right now, how do you become, like, and maybe this isn't what you want to do. I don't know. Like, how do you become Liam like, how do you turn yourself into a brand? And this is, like, something we're all having to do right now. Like, if you want to be viral and you're a person and not a company, like, you have to turn yourself into a brand.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast was really, like, that's a great case study. Like, how he became Jimmy, whatever his last name is, into Mr. Beast, into Mr. Beast chocolate, Mr. Beast Squid Games, Mr. Beast burger, like, Mr. Beast toys in the Target.
I think he's got a great team, and I think he also knows, like, the algorithm.
Yeah.
Or maybe psychology is the better example. And I have, like, some friends that, like, are in, like, the content management world and have, like, given me some great insight. And it's as simple as, don't show his reaction at the beginning, move that to the end. And I'm like, well, why? I want to give it. No. He's like, no.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh wait, that makes sense, because it's like, you want to hook people, and it's like, I have to engage in this shittiness of social media, which I like.
The shittiness.
Which,
I like that.
Which I dislike strongly. Although I have to, and I have to, like, be disciplined enough to manage it, because, like, and also on the topic of collaboration, I've unfollowed so many of the people that I looked up to and like, admired, because I'm like, you know what, like, I have this fire. I think I've consumed enough media in my life.
Yeah.
I don't want more of it. And my Explore page is that stuff already that I want to see. Like, my Explore page isn't anything but art.
And not because you're trying to be like, oh, you know, look at my follower ratio. Like,
no,
I follow more people than follow me. It's not like, but I get what you're saying.
It's just my feed got, like, full of stuff that, like, takes me away from what I'm trying to do, and it just distracts me, and I'm not able to produce the content that I want to produce when I am, like, distracted on, like, things that aren't relevant to me in my life. So I'm trying to keep it just like relevant, really close friends and people like that I actually know in person,
Yeah.
because there's lots of people that I'm like, I've never messaged this person, I only know them from a friend to friend. I'm gonna unfollow them because it's like I don't have a real relationship with them. And if they want to, and I've also found that people have bought art from me. If I don't follow them, that's not a problem. They'll still buy art from me. And or if they want to collaborate with me, they'll still collab. So, and I can. And if someone's like, "Yo, you want to follow me?" I'm like, "Oh, my bad. I'll follow you right now." You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not the end of the world like I think it is in my head. And then what was the other thing we were talking about?
I mean, we can all spend afford to spend less time on Instagram anyways. So like I follow too many artists and I love like consuming art, but I get washed like you were saying, I get washed out of it super easy. Like I curated my feed from being like dumb meme stuff to art, and then like all of a sudden I had this like really adverse reaction to like seeing only art stuff, because it was like, here's what you should be doing like after the shoot. Here are like 10 ideas for model posing. Here's like just garbage, like a bunch of garbage, and it was impossible for me to like absorb it all and then have a coherent thought about like what I wanted to do in class the next day. Yeah. It was like being screamed at like constantly.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is actually making me want to do less photo stuff because, oh, it's already all been done before. Oh, here are like 8 million ideas for you to think about. Yeah. Oh, I have less views than this guy who's kind of cranking out crap. Like,
yeah.
Like I didn't want any part of that anymore.
Yeah, because it's hard, because it just like it grays out the color I'm trying to focus on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then going back to keeping the momentum going is that like the friends that I have that are in the content management creation realm, like they themselves aren't creators, but they like work in that area, have told me just like study it and do what's working, just repeat that, and so I think for me it's travel is definitely a part of it. And on Instagram, at least, it's like the ones in Virginia have not done as well. But on TikTok, it's been a little bit different. So studying the differences on what I've also noticed that I think Instagram likes more negativity. Like TikTok wouldn't, I don't think consumes it as well. So like the rejection video, like it's not like it went viral, but it did better on Instagram than TikTok, which is interesting to me. Studying that, viewing the analytics, and just continuing what is doing the best, the same format. And I think so, yeah, like I was saying, travel, the shock value of strangers, the genuineness of the interaction, and spray painting on the spot. Because there's so many, like, on all of these things, it can be controversial. Like, oh my gosh, is spray paint getting on the shirt? Are they getting like toxic fumes? Are they going to die? Like, that's cancer. Like, that's so bad. That's terrible art.
Just wait till you post that leg. Like,
oh clip. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Wait, you put up the one where you were on the. Shit. Wait, how did I miss?
Dude,
that?
I post like every day. Sometimes I think yesterday I posted 3 times.
Yeah.
So like I don't expect anyone to keep track of it. And like by studying the analytics, I see that most of my posts are mostly engaged by non-followers.
Yeah.
And the ones that are like engaged by like followers, I don't know. I doubt there's not that many that are engaged in all of the same ones. Like it'll be like follower A for this post, and the next day it'll be follower B. It's not the necessarily same person. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, that's how I think I can try my best to stay on the, relevant or whatnot.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, I think, yes, it is what I want to do, but also no. Like, I would love to do some murals on skyscrapers that are so big. That would be so dope, like, but I'm also kind of finding a love for being uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, it also supplements your career. Like, if, that can help you get into spaces you wouldn't have access to without having to like work hard or like work at this thing for 10 years trying to get like a handshake from someone like way out of your league as far as like social network goes. Like and I mean, I don't know, like I'm curious, do you feel yourself getting less authentic as you sort of like chase this dragon of like getting that viral video again? Because like you've already had your viral video, so that moment, and you weren't even really planning
Not at all,
That
dude. Not at all.
it was
It was
more
out
of a
of nowhere.
surprise,
It
which
was
is honestly
yeah.
even more brutal because like now you've got to like retrace your steps, think about what you were doing, and then try and hit the ground again. Um, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of the times when we go commercial, we're sort of losing a bit of the inner soul of like, oh, that sounds so pretentious. Like we're losing a bit of the realness, like the raw art energy that kind of
Yes.
brought us to that piece in the first place. Like, you sometimes you just can't sell stuff that's super confrontational. So like I see people like taking a step back so that they feel like they can put their stuff up in the halls without being yelled at. Do you feel like you're kind of
like in Pollock.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The art building you're in.
Like David Hanforth, right?
Yes.
You know that whole issue with
I've heard,
the with the
let me paint my naked men. Let him
portraits
take
of himself. Yeah. He had to take that down or like physically cut the genitalia out of his piece so he could keep it up on the walls. So like, do you feel like you're changing part of like what you really want to create or who you really are to kind of placate this social media thing?
I think when I first started doing this, like Texas and in Canada, because I actually like made a video in Texas, and what started the whole Canada thing was like, I immediately got to the hotel, and within like 20 minutes, I'm like, I'm so tired. I slept a few hours last night. All right, F it. I'm gonna run to this paint store like almost 2 miles away and get there right before they close. They closed at 4 p.m. I was like, what the heck? And all the forest fire, like my lungs were like dying. I was like, ugh. And I got the paint. It was like Rust-Oleum high pressure. And then I like just immediately started doing it. I was like, F it, we're going to do it. Because I had noticed that I posted 2 videos with the Ray-Bans of me just spray painting. And they'd done really well. And I wasn't exactly sure why. But I was like, F it, let's do more right now. We're in another city, in another country. And when I was like in Jamaica, it was like the same thing. I'm like, I'm in a new place. I have to leave my mark here. I'm going to go out and do it. For me personally, it's been easier to do that in a foreign place than here in Richmond, because when I'm like here at home, it's like, oh, like I have so much time. I'm here all the time. I can do that later. Like the excuses come in, but yeah, I posted that and like, like was doing normal, maybe a little bit better than whatever, but went to bed like, dang, that's cool. This got more likes than I've ever been used to. And then I woke up and I was like, what in the heck world am I living in? What just happened to me? Like, this is scary. I'm freaked out. I need to post more.
Yeah, and that's like totally passion. Yeah. And I mean, like, well, the moment to get that video in the first place of like going out, really like letting your sort of creative drive take over. Like, and like you said, I had the chance to go out to the West Coast for the first time in forever, and I was in Colorado, and I brought so much fucking film with me and just like shot more than I've ever shot film in my life over like a 3-day period. So I don't know, there's got to be something about that, like maybe it's the fleeting moment of like, oh, we're probably not going to be back in this place for a while. Like, got to make the most of it. Or just like a new experience. To
answer your question though, because I haven't done that, because I think what I was trying to say is like, yes, at the beginning I was like so eager, like because at first I was like, I'll paint whatever you want, and then in Texas the guy that finally said yes, because I got so many no's in Austin, was like, whatever you want. And I was like, well, I do this eye a lot, so I was like, F it, I'm just gonna do it. And so I realized, okay, if I give people no choice, then it's quicker, easier, the interaction can be like sped run. But I also had the willingness to do whatever they wanted on the spot that I felt capable of doing with the resources I had at the time. And so it was at the moment like, I need you. I will do whatever you want so that I can do this for you. Whereas now, that genuineness I think is still there, but it's different because I have this confidence of I don't need you. You can say no, and that's great. You know what I mean? So I think that is a big change that has happened, but I don't necessarily think it's like, I think there's like a cocky confidence that like maybe probably is taken away from the genuineness, and like in my ego is like, can get like too big, that like can affect it. But because I have a different mentality with it now, because I view it as like their loss, because I'm like, people like on the internet would love to be in Richmond to just get painted for a day, like I just painted this girl's shirt that was visiting just for free, like went out of my way to paint her shit, and then another person like who'd like was a freshman when I first moved here, and when I was painting the park all the time, like saw me and was like, yo, I gotta get, and it was great seeing him, and yada yada yada. And so like what I'm trying to say is like all these people that like, well, unfortunately, the only way they'll ever be able to consume my art is through a online shop that I'm like in the process of making, which will cost money just because of like the nature of like having like limited resources. And like I would love to just be able to like get my art out for free for everyone,
Yeah.
but yeah, so because now that I have like received positive feedback, there like is this confidence that like, you know what, like that's okay, I don't need you. And then what you're saying now with the fleeting moment of the travel, I think is exactly the spot on point of why it is there. Like that fire maybe gets even stronger when I'm in someplace else, because there is so much opportunity here in Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond,
Yeah.
Ratchmond, same
Yeah.
thing. And maybe more Ratchmond, but
Yeah.
there's so much like you can just seize it, but I have so much time to do it. But when I'm somewhere else, I don't have the time, or maybe even necessarily all of the resources. So making do with what I have and trying to like take all that I can from an area in a positive way and make something out of it
Yeah.
is of the utmost importance.
Yeah, totally. I mean, even if there's like one high schooler watching this shit right now, move to a city and do literally as much shit as you possibly can within the 4 years that you have, schooling wise, or don't go to fucking art school and like grind your ass off, taking every like chance to meet people and opportunity possible. I forget who said it. It was one of the seniors 2 years ago in photo film. They were like, I feel bad that I'm moving away from Richmond because I feel like I haven't gotten to do everything in Richmond. And you can only do so much when you're in a big ass city. But yeah, if I'm here, I'm going to be trying to meet everyone, do everything, like check every box and get the most out of this experience. Because then like, we're paying rent, we're paying lots of money to go to school. Like I'm going to, every time my department chair emails me, I'm like, yes, I'm going to that thing. I'm signing up for that event. I'm like getting my name out there, which is, infinitely important for like us as, artists in development or like early career artists.
Yeah.
Just like meeting people. I wouldn't have met you if I didn't go to, like, we talked about this. I wouldn't have met you if I didn't go to the, like, Supply thing. Just, like, knowing that.
Shout out Supply.
Shout out Ian. Yeah, shout out Supply. Just, like, knowing that there were going to be art folks there. Yeah. Even if they don't give a fuck about what I'm doing. Just, like, talking about that shit. And I don't, like, I'm not a graffiti guy, but I enjoy it. And I enjoy being in the presence of other artists. Because it, like, fuels me creatively. I get inspired by seeing some like the shit that you do online, and I'm like, oh yeah, gotta post every day, like gotta make more work.
You have a couple points that I want to like touch on. So moving to a city, I was at a small school in York, Pennsylvania, and like I had amazing connections there, great friends, and people like still like in contact with today, and like absolutely love and adore so much. But that small city, like I did the same things I was doing there when I moved to Richmond as I did in Richmond. But in Richmond, it was a completely different response, So I would paint on campus, in the green area, whatever, grass. Then I come to Richmond, and before classes like officially start, I start painting in Monroe Park, which is not technically on campus, but like basically is. People started immediately coming up to me buying my art, and I was like, what the heck? And so now, like, as I travel to even bigger cities and have connections from like social media, and people are like, yo, like we'll go, I meet someone off social media and they're like, yo, we're going to go to this bar and you can paint there and you can do this or whatever. And there's a skate park in the I'm like, what, dude, I can skate in this bar? What the heck? Like, I'm sober, I don't drink, but it's like, it's a cool experience to like now like be in bigger cities and know what's in. And like, it's just the best thing. I love it. So if like someone is like, I wish I went to a bigger city, like, and I want to go to even bigger cities than Richmond. But when I came and transferred to Richmond, my goal was always to like capitalize, make my mark on like the scene here, so much so that when I go to an even bigger area, it's not like a big jump. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's been like my goal and idea, like of like coming to VCU and like living here in Richmond. because it's like this will be like a stepping stool to like a bigger city, you know. Not that I don't view Richmond as home, because like it is, and it's like the first place that I've found like true artistic freedom and a true artistic voice in. But yeah, Richmond is great, but I do want more, and I want to be very mobile going future.
Yeah, and I mean, you're a go-getter, so like if like you know, there's a ceiling to Richmond for sure, and the opportunity and all that is great here, but like, you know, if you're really about it, you're gonna like, there's that next step still like above Richmond.
Yeah.
New York, London, Paris, like Amsterdam. There's
Yeah.
just like, there's more competition, but like if you're ready for that, yeah, there's a higher ceiling for sure.
Dude, yeah, maybe Houston, maybe Dallas, yeah, maybe overseas, maybe in the Americas. I don't know. Yeah, there's so many possibilities, and like I suspect like if things keep going the way that they're going, like I will continue to have experiences where I will find what I do and don't like in cities, you know.
Yeah.
Because like I'm in the stone carving class, and it's like half the semester. Once it's over, I'm going to be free from Friday to Monday, so I am 100% using the money from my online shop to go and drive to y'all. Like I've got people like, yo, come to Dayton, Ohio. I'm like, yo, my dad was born there. I need to go there. Like, I will paint your stuff. Like, you know, and so, or like, come to New York. I'm like, I was just there this summer and I was having a blast painting rooftops and making art.
Get him a flight to anywhere.
No, not even a flight. Just
train tickets.
Just buy
I am an Uber.
No, just support through the online shop so that I can then like spread the art more to like more people that want it, you know what I mean? Because there's some people that maybe can't afford to buy it that are DMing me online, that are in like a somewhat local area to Richmond, Virginia, aka like a 10 to or under hour drive, car ride, whatever, maybe more, whatever. But you know what I'm trying to say, and because that's what I'm trying to do, because I love sleeping in my car. I won't shower for a weekend. That's okay. Like it's all good, because it's like so worth it in the end, you know. Get the Planet Fitness membership, I'll shower, it's all good.
Dude, I mean, people love to talk about the culture. It's like almost a buzzword at this point, but they won't put the time in. Like, you know, why aren't you sleeping in your car to make it
will fucking do it.
No, I know you are. But why are other people not? Like, why are you not? Like, I feel like I have back problems already from like schlepping shit around for other people. Like, I will wake up at 6 a.m. just to get down to something, because I don't have a car. I'll fucking walk there or bike there or fucking make it happen.
Yes, dude.
Like, fucking make it happen.
Well, and that's the other point I want to talk about. Like, is art school worth it? We're spending so much money, and like in so many ways, like, no, it is not. Although like it can be, yes, if you take like the right attitude and take the resources out and just recognize that like the people around me, like the lives that they live, like that's not what I want. Like, I want to create my own path. I always wanted that. Oh, like I want to find someone that has everything I want. I'm going to copy them and just make my life just like theirs. Fuck no. I'm never going to have the exact path and trajectory of my life that I want to live already paved and made ready just for me. I have to pave that shit myself, you know? I have to pave the way for me and hopefully potentially other people that want to do things like me.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
shoot. Where were we?
Talking about how like you're willing to wake up at 6 a.m. and walk or bike to an event that you're not getting paid for just to make it happen, because you're about the work and you're like on the vibe of doing things, you know? And like the same with me with like going and traveling and living, like sleeping in my like back of my car, because I was car camping a bunch, because like a bunch of like recovery friends like do this like West Virginia camping thing every month. Gonna miss it this upcoming September. It's the first weekend, but anyways, like they're like they all sleep in their cars. And I was like, wait, that's kind of dope. I kind of like that.
I mean, but that's like also that's like a mission. There's like more than just like your self-serving like drive to create art. You're like, through the recovery stuff that you're doing, you're helping other people. That's noble, and also like, you know, there's like some other energy attached to that, in the way that you're like, I'm doing this for a socially good reason, or not like socially good, but well,
I do it because I have to, dude.
Yeah.
I used to think like doing more art would mean I'd make better art, and I've come to realize that I have to do less art to do more AA to then make better art.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. I don't know. This part wasn't on camera, but it was on recording. I was gonna say, yeah, like devil's advocate. Not everyone needs to go to through art school.
Oh yeah, that's what you're talking about that.
Although 100%, I've like been introduced to people I would never have like the introduction to through my department chair, because I wanted him to like know absolutely, like this is the shit I want to be doing. Like I'm here to fucking get educated. Like I'm here to put that like effort in, and that's, you know, shown to him like, okay, this is someone I'm comfortable like talking to people about, because I know that he's gonna like volunteering shit. It's a lot of like, oh hey Noah, can you come like shoot this photo booth? Can you come talk to the freshmen like about the photo program? Like just little shit right now, but hope, you know, you want to take the little shit, turn it into big shit. Like, you know, I don't know. I think like technically, yeah, you could learn everything I know. You could probably learn on your own
online.
It would take longer probably, but you know, if you're driven, you could do it. Although
I think the driven piece is what makes it not always worth it. And I know for me, like, I think of myself as a very driven person, but I know if I didn't go to art school, I don't think I'd be where I'm at with like my art career. You know what I mean? Because it's like helped, like, one professor described it as a pressure cooker. And I think that's exactly what it is. It takes what you have and it can either break it into a diamond or just break it into pieces. And I think a lot of people are in pieces, and that is not the vibe I want to be in. And I think a lot of people can get successful off of broken pieces. That doesn't mean that like just because that is like the way you're going will mean you can't ever make a living or success off that. That's not true. But I think I want to go the route of opposite of like starving artists that is very sad and pessimistic and like, oh, life sucks and it's out to get me, and just like one that like is happy, grounded, in recovery, and has routine, you know, but also is like in this chaos of the artistic van life, going out, whatever, and painting everything I can, you know. And the people around me, I think, often don't have the confidence in themselves to achieve what they want. And it's like, I think a lot of people don't realize, like, I was not a popular kid in high school. Like, I definitely was not invited to parties, not until I was a senior.
I don't think any of us were.
Yeah. Like,
round up all the people at VCU Arts. We were not, like, on the fucking football team.
No, dude. Like, I like, resent high school because I just have so much, like, negative feelings about it, like because I was just so depressed, like, and no one knew, because I was just always like happy on the outside and just always like happy and joyful, whatever, like high energy and whatnot, ADHD. And but like it got to me, like a lot of people were really annoyed with me all the time, and it got to me, you know. But I've been able to like, and then I kind of threw my life away like senior year, and like I felt so behind for like years, like so embarrassed to like let people know that like I'm behind them in terms of academia, in terms of like the graduating class I'm in from high school, you know. But like now it's like I'm starting to like have the confidence and realize like it doesn't matter, because like I feel that a lot of people around me think I'm ahead. It's like, whoa, that's so cool, like you teach at a high school kids how to spray paint, and you have this like custom work that you do, and you have this like audience that you're able to reach to, and you're doing this and this and that and that, and you've done that work that's really good, whatever. And it's like, you don't realize what it took to get there. Like I had to go from the exact opposite to then just start to like reaching out of the darkness to the light, you know. And so I think it's interesting. I always wanted, like you're saying earlier, the pathway of my life that I exactly want to live, and all the uniqueness and spontaneity that I want to live. I want that path to already be carved and laid out for me, but it can't. I have to make it myself, you know. Like I can't just find someone and take everything they did and just, oh, now I know what to do, like I'll just do that. I have to learn from a lot of different people, make it my own, and then put that and implement it, make my path, carve it myself, you know.
I mean, I also have it nowhere near figured out. Like I'm still, you know, trying to learn as I go and take every day like one step at a time, because you know, you can study as many of your favorite artists as you want and try and figure out how they did it, and it still won't be the same for you. Like there's definitely a through line, like, why is Banksy famous? There's probably like, a reason that correlates with the same reason why Keith Haring's famous and why Basquiat got famous. But there's no one's gonna hand you that key, really. You have to open the door for yourself, and it's not laid out in front of you. There's no moment in your life where it's like, okay, this is the decision I need to make right now. Like this, I'm at this fork in the road. I need to do this, and that's directly going to turn into a long, prosperous art career. Like, none of us, anyone can say they know what they're going to do post grad. None of us really know what like the rest of life is going to be like.
It's always like interesting. Like I think, oh, I know what's in store for me like next, and then like maybe I did, but I also didn't at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like I was saying earlier, we didn't get on video though.
Yeah.
But when I came to Richmond, I wanted to like get a grasp of like Richmond arts and like feel like on top of that before moving on to like a bigger city. Not that like Richmond isn't home, and because it's like the first city that I found like a true artistic voice and life in,
Yeah.
But anyways, brain fart.
I mean, life throws a curveball, right?
Yeah.
Like if you told me, I had no fucking clue I would be here right now 4 years ago in high school.
Yeah.
Like this little dumbass kid who couldn't do math, couldn't do science. My grades were tanked because of COVID. Like we all struggled because of COVID.
Yeah.
But like I knew already. Like I could tell you before that I wasn't a good student. Like coming here off the strength of whatever shitty portfolio I turned in. I know my writing sample or whatever was not good. Like, but to look at like 17-year-old Noah as a 21-year-old and be like, oh, holy fuck, like this is like bubbling into something. Like I took Call of Duty playing, like no good grades, no focus into what I'm doing now. That's like, you got to give yourself a pat on the back. Like coming from like if you were in a dark time at high school, not really like sure what the road ahead looked like, and now you're here, like that's good enough. Like not saying that you should stop here, like no, don't stop, like put more coal in the engine, keep chugging. And that's what I have to tell myself like all the time. Like it, this is like step 2. There's many more steps, but like, someone told me the other day, because I was telling them the same shit. I was like, yeah, I wish I had done more art shit in high school. I wish I had paid more attention. Maybe I could have gotten into like NYU or RISD or one of the more prestigious schools in a bigger city. But like that's not being kind to your younger self. And look at all the work you've done to get here now. Like that's all you really can do. Like, New York is waiting for you. We're here now. Like that's just like, what got you and me to Richmond. Nothing can change that. Like that's all
old news.
There's no point in looking back and being like, oh shit, what I didn't do. Because like, again, everything else is like, okay, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah, I think that's like a great mindset to have, is just like moving forward. I think, like that's all we can do is like live in the present. My one professor is talking about that. It's just like basically like a couple themes he's gone over is just make, and the best time is now. And like I think in sculpture, like it can be very, 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 very conceptual and not technical, and like sometimes that's great. And I feel like I have like a pretty technical practice that like has like conceptual elements, but that like conceptual background I think can be like really like helpful, because like it's like great to have like confidence in what I'm doing, and I think that like those interesting conversations like keep that going. But also at the end of the day, I think you gotta just make, like if I only had those conversations, that wouldn't do jack for me, you know what I mean? Like if I only ever talked about my art and never made it, like what is that, so
yeah I think you're totally right. And I guess that brings me to our closer. What are, with everything we've said today, like about being productive, how to navigate the social media landscape, what what it even means to be a young artist. Like, what should we be doing? Who fucking knows? What are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna create this week? What's in the next 7 days for you?
Definitely lots of posting every day. Like that's something that's become like, I think, an art form as well, like the editing aspect of things. Because even as like simple as just making sure like all the subtitle captions like are correct, like
Yeah.
I think it's still like artistic, you know, because I make choices like, oh, should I capitalize this or that, you know, like what emphasis am I trying to like portray, you know, and I don't know. I think it's funny because I used to view it as like so cringe, and like now I'm like totally invested in this thing that I like always viewed as like bad, but I'm like trying to use it in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, like we were talking about earlier, it's like we're down to travel. Like that's a freaking vibe. Like it's awesome that like the technology that we have access to today can like connect us with so many people. And like I think a lot of times like we're just like scared. Like hitchhiking's not a thing anymore. But, like hitchhiking would be dope. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, but
So are you gonna hitchhike in the next 7 days?
no,
or?
I'm definitely gonna drive. I need to
Yeah.
get my car fixed. I got a check engine light on. My roommate's a mechanic though, so hopefully Ant's got time this upcoming week to get me right. But yeah, just lots of clothes. I have so many clothes in my studio that I want to like paint on, and getting a bunch of rugs. Hopefully like after this, I'm really excited because the rugs I kind of view as a integration of the clothes, because spray paint interacts with like fabric really interestingly. What's that red flashing like?
I think it's about to go off.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that the way that spray paint works with clothes is really unique. Sometimes they blend it together inside of the fabric, and the rugs, it does that even more. It does the same things but to an even larger extent, so you can give really unique effects. So I kind of view it just like the street art stuff of going up to strangers and painting them, but in a more interesting way, in a different type of way, where these rugs have stories, that they have lives, they lived in people's houses, and now they can live on walls.
It's all on voice though. So if like at some point you don't even need to fucking see us anymore, bro. Dude. Yeah. Okay. Follow. Where can we, Liam? Where can we find you?
LiamWise.art. Yeah, LiamWise.art, spray paint guy.
Sick. Dude. Okay.